Yes, people, welcome back to the Red Zone. I'm AJ, and this is all your Manchester United sports, entertainment, and news updates. This is your match reaction video for the Europa League quarter-final first leg tie between Manchester United and Sevilla. It finished Man United 2, Sevilla 2. We're going to talk about the contrast in performances in the first and the second half. We'll also discuss the result and what it means going forward, along with some individual performances as well. So let's get into it. First thing to say is this is the perfect example, man, for a fucking game of two halves. Do you know what I'm saying? 2-2 at the end of full time. Who thought we'd have been saying that after the first 20-25 minutes? Do you know what I'm saying? Literally dominated the whole of the first half. One of the best performances in the first half that I've seen, obviously, apart from adding a few more goals. And then the second half comes out and it's like a total opposite. Do you know what I'm saying? Like a decline in performance. We let 2 goals in late on and just make the whole tie and the route to the final harder for ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Bit of a mad one, really. Disappointing after such an enthusiastic start. That's what we have to say. It's just crazy, but it's just a perfect example for, like I say, a game of two halves, and anything can happen in football. Do you know what I'm saying? Don't switch off until the last whistle. That's always the key. Like I say, in first half performance, man, like I'm sitting there thinking it's one of the best performances I've seen from the team this season in the first half. The fluidity, just the intensity of the play, the passing, the moving, chances being created, shots. Like I say, it should have been 4 or 5, something like that before the first half even finished. Really good, man. Like you kind of could tell straight away that we just had their number, that they weren't ready for the intensity. Man for man on the pitch, they couldn't touch us. It was crazy, man. You're sitting there thinking, wow, this could be anything, like 3, 4, 5, 6-0. So happy days in the first half. Do you know what I'm saying? Midfield solid. Casemiro was back in there, obviously. Bruno doing his thing. Sabitzer as well with 2 goals, played well first half, dominant. Even the defence the first half, do you know what I'm saying, apart from one, but the other 3 were solid, didn't look like losing anything, playing high up the pitch. The pressing game was on point. What can we say, man? Total domination of the first half. Sabitzer gets his 2 goals, great goals as well, great finishes. All this is before the 22nd minute of the game, do you know what I mean? 2 great passes from Bruno and Martial to get the assist as well. It's just that was the way we were playing in the first half. Every pass we were finding, even the tricky ones, we were just creating so many chances. You could see that Sevilla were like stressed at the start of the game. Do you know what I'm saying? So you're thinking like it's going to be a big scoreline. Apart from only getting 2 at the first half, you didn't really have any worries. You're thinking, okay, we go again in the second half and we just finish the game. But it's that age-old rule of football, do you know what I'm saying? 2-0, the most dangerous scoreline in football, because it can either kill a game, the next goal can kill a game if it's 3, or the next goal can make a game if it's 2-1, and it's exactly what happens, you know what I mean? Second half, straight away, and I'm not even joking, not 5, 10, 15 minutes into the second half, straight away from the second half, you just knew that the intensity had gone, whether the legs had gone, whether something happened in the shift of mentality because they didn't score as many goals. But I find that hard to believe, because realistically, you're comfortable in the game, you should be going on to dominate the second half, but it just wasn't there. Probably gave them a bit of hype as well, a bit of positivity to go forward, because obviously Varane came off with his foot injury, so we had Maguire who came and filled in, and we all know that when Maguire plays, we always play deeper. We always play 10-15 yards deeper with Maguire in the team, and you could see that happening straight away. Sevilla just started to grow in confidence. Just wasn't the same team that we saw in the first half, and I just don't know what happened. Also, then you got to say Bruno Fernandes got the yellow card, which obviously means he's missing the second leg. But I just don't understand what happened next, because if we're being honest, we love ETH, and I've said numerous times we will win a Premier League title if we keep the faith with Ten Hag. But yesterday, we got to say he fucked up with the substitutions, made subs that he just didn't need to make. Brought Martial off for Weghorst. Now that's obviously going to stop the kind of play that we want up the top, which is speed and interplay and linking and changing. Because you got Weghorst on there, he just doesn't offer nothing apart from a bit of pressing. He's slow. He just doesn't score goals, doesn't win aerial duels. And then the big one, which I think the game completely changed when he did it, he took Bruno Fernandes off. Who did he bring on? I'm not even sure who he brought on for Bruno. Also, he brought Sancho off as well. And we've got to say Sancho was having a decent game, and he's brought him off for Elanga. Elanga did absolutely nothing. Does what Elanga just only seems to do, and that's just run in a straight line. And when he gets tackled, that's the end of the move. Do you know what I'm saying? He'll score an odd goal here and there, but not really. But the Bruno one brought him off, and that just like changed the mentality of the game. You start to see Sevilla then more confident. We are starting to have less play, less possession, and it was just always going to, well, it wasn't always going to happen like this, but you could always see something dodgy happening. I probably thought they might get one back, even though I predicted 3-0 at the start, but the way the game was going, you're thinking, boy, they could get one back and then it's going to be tricky going to Spain. But it didn't, did it? Licha as well, it looks like he's going to be out for the season. Done his metatarsal, so then we're obviously bringing Lindelof on. It's another injury, man. They're just stacking up. And then these two bullshit own goals in like the last 5 or 6 minutes of the game. The first one, you have to say, and this is why I left him out when I was talking about the defence, was Malacia. Now on the goal, Malacia is like 5 yards behind the other defence trying to play an offside trap. That doesn't work. And then obviously he's not sorted himself out right, his positioning, his feet positioning, and ended up kicking it in his own goal off the Sevilla player's cross. He didn't have the best of games, if we're being honest with ourselves. I like Malacia. He's a great deputy for Luke Shaw. When he comes in, you don't normally have any problems with him, but you could just see yesterday it just wasn't his best game, giving away possession of the ball, just making things harder for himself all game, do you know what I mean? And then you get the second own goal, which is off none other than Harry Maguire. But let's be honest with you, as a pretty bullshit one, like the cross has come in, the Sevilla players headed it, it's going miles off target, and it's deflected off Maguire's flip face, cheek, whatever you want to call it, and it's gone in the totally opposite direction, which is obviously wrong-footed De Gea, and that's the goal, and it's 2-2. And we didn't think we'd be sitting there saying that after 20-25 minutes, when you're presuming it's going to be 3, 4, 5, 6, something like that. Yeah, man, disappointing end to the game. It's just it's made it 10 times harder for themselves. Do you know what I'm saying? Next week we've got to go and win in Spain. We're going to be without Bruno Fernandes. We're going to be without Rafa Varane. We're going to be without Martinez, and obviously we're going to be without Rashford. There is rumours that Rashford could be back, but let's be honest with yourself, what's happened before with Rashford? He's rushed himself back and he hasn't been the same as before. So we're literally going to be without 4 first-team players next week. I'm going to have to go to Spain and win. Let alone the Premier League running, the FA Cup semi-final we got coming up. These injuries are starting to stack up, man. Yeah, we've said it before many times. Every United fan knew this point in the season was coming. Business end of the season, the games come thick and fast, and if you're going to catch injuries, it's not the time you want to catch injuries, especially with a squad depth as shit as the one we've got. We've got no squad depth whatsoever. Do you know what I'm saying? You're going to take Casemiro or Bruno out, you're going to throw a McTominay in there. Like yesterday, you bring Sancho off, you're going to have to throw what's his name on? Elanga. So I forgot his name then, that's how irrelevant he is at the minute. So the squad depth's just not there. Palestri came on. It's another youth player, do you know what I'm saying? We've got high hopes for him, but when you want to be challenging towards this end of the season, challenging for titles, we need better options like Man City have got, do you know what I'm saying? I hate to point to them, but they've got literally 2 first teams. That's how you need it to be if you're going to be challenging for the top titles. So yeah, man, the team's just going to have to soldier on, do you know what I'm saying? Next week it's going to be difficult. Can it be done? Obviously it can be done, but it's going to be really difficult with the lack of squad depth we got and the injuries we've got, you know what I mean? They're going to have to just try and pull it together for the remainder of the season. Ten Hag's probably going to have to, he's probably going to wait till after the Europa League game, but he's going to have to see then whether he's just going to have to put his eggs into one basket and try and just get that top 4 place, you know what I'm saying? Because we're going to be fighting the Europa League, we're going to be fighting FA Cup, and realistically you could end up with not another trophy and finishing out the top 4, and that's not what we want to happen. Yeah, so the next game is the Premier League game against Nottingham Forest on Sunday, and that is away at Forest Ground. So we're going to have to keep the faith that the team can just stick together, do you know what I'm saying? We're going to have to go with Maguire and Lindelof at the back and just hope the team can pull off something. Martial's back, which gives you a bit of confidence in the ball being put in the back of the net, but we're going to have a tricky running now to the rest of the season, and I just hope United fans are ready for that. Blame the Glazers, blame whoever you want, but the lack of quality in the squad and the squad depth is shocking, and that's there for all to see. Yeah, so let us know what you thought of the result, the stark contrast in the performances in either half. Let us know what you thought of individual player performances. You can drop that in the comments, along with any shout outs, any other thing, anything else you want to talk about. Let us know in the comments. Don't forget to give this video a like, don't forget to subscribe, tell your friends, tell your family. Also, don't forget to turn on the notification bell so you know when we've uploaded our latest video, and also go and follow us on Instagram for a load of daily content. That's at the bottom of the screen now, and the link is in the video description. And I want to say a big thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate it, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.